Hi, hello, Wesley Thompson here. I had to throw the first some of these videos away because it seems like when I'm mentioning names my camera seems to malfunction. When I get to certain parts that were blocked out so bad by static that you couldn't hear a word that I was saying on the videos that I'm tossing and redoing right now, when I get to the parts, to one particular part where I named about 5 or 6 names in a row and 2 or 3 more paragraphs, couple paragraphs, they blocked that. Oh, that's completely gone out of that video. Isn't that something? It seems to hit at key places in the videos. Anyway, I'm recapping just a little bit. If you, the viewer and the listener, you can turn your head away and you ain't got to look at me. I do hand signs and move my head and that kind of stuff. If you're just listening to my words, that's the main thing. Just listen to what I got to say. You can go about your business in the house, fix coffee or fix dinner or do your laundry. Just turn it up so you can hear what I'm saying. That's the best way. The message is what's important. If you're an easy one to follow, anybody, just anybody, if you're a follower, not a doer, then consider the example set by Jesus Christ. Just consider it. And if you don't know anything about it, that's okay. Yeah, not most people are not. I don't expect most people to know about it because you've been led and taken so far away from it. So, what I'm saying is this. If you're that easy to follow anyone, then how about Jesus Christ, the chosen, one of the great sculptors, to illustrate the power and the righteousness and the love and the simple rules, 2 regards, the simple rules that you need to regard in order to achieve peace. In order to achieve peace. Just simple rules. 10 commandments. And we don't allow the thought of the relationship because we're too busy. Don't you think the Father is busy too? He is. Let me tell you something. You need to fill your spirits with repentance and conviction until you weep. And you need to ask the Lord to have Jesus Christ come into your heart and reside with you and change you. Let me tell you something, folks. Message time. This is what they blocked out last time. This is all the stuff. I'm skipping some other things. I can't do the same message 2 times in the same row, but only the foolish people decide to wait and to chance things and wait for a more undeniable evidence, more in-your-face truth. My warning is caution to those who wait. My warning is caution to those who wait. You understand me? Folks, listen. Things are going to close to an end so fast you're not going to have time to think. Your brain is going to be scrambled, and then what thought you do have, it's going to be tore all to pieces and broken down so much your brain, your thought process is literally going to dissolve within your head. The only way that I can tell you is this. You're going to receive such electromagnetic frequencies, such intensities, such shocks to your senses and to the realization of your life force and your existence. You're going to feel swept and completely helpless for long periods of time. You won't even be, if you're able, you'll be taken from your feet. You won't even be able to get up. I'm telling you right now. I wish you'd listen to me. Now I'm going to go into something else. The degradation of your sensory awareness. That's what I'm going to go into. The degradation of your sensory awareness. The degradation of your spontaneity. The spontaneity in people especially. Performance, people's friendliness. They are using mind control by all kinds of means. Everything comes from false teachings, false education, drugs in your food, and stronger in your medical and pharmaceutical supplies. Here's a part they bleeped out of it. Oh, the sound went bad in my last video during this section right here. Dr. Wilhelm Wright of Germany and Austria, Dr. Freud of Vienna, Joseph Mengele, the angel of death, by the way, from Nazi Germany in the camps, and Dr. U.N. Cameron. He was with the MK Ultra programs where they used chemicals on everybody with the CIA, killing people like crazy. Let's poison them. Let's check this out. Let's strap them down and inject them in with this. Fluoride is the worst. It is the #1 all-time cause of cancers, and it is the worst and most used for mind control. This fluoride was bought by tons, by the tonnage, for the death camps of Germany and for, excuse me, it's bought by tonnage everywhere for people to keep other people dumbed down. Other countries are now banning it from everything that they can, as they are GMO foods. And the lawsuit against Monsanto with GMO foods is why the Texas fertilizer plant got struck and bombed with the Star Wars plasma cannons. Monsanto had friends with big guns. Those names that I named, they are some of the most ruthless, barbaric killers and monsters and beasts that's ever been known to use mass genocide and mass murder on large groups of people at the same time. They'll go in and have sex with 2- and 3-year-old children, and they go out and murder people by the hundreds or the thousands. That's what kind of people gets recognition. That's what the kind of people has books written about them. They have fame and fortune. That's just like our politicians and our bankers. They never get cancers. The ones who play ball with the government, they never get any cancers. But they use chemicals. They use electronics. It's an ongoing all over the United States. In the United States, mind control and brain control is prominent. It's the prominence is the United States. Every place that the United States and the UN has a foothold or has an outpost in, they're using mind control. All of the countries that said that they were not going to allow the UN and the US to put the chemtrails in the air over their countries, these countries that are not American countries, they wanted to spread chemtrails, and the countries said no, and America and the UN threatened to bomb and invade the countries because they didn't want chemtrails over top of their people's heads. Y'all listening to me? Y'all support that? Y'all didn't know about that? You're not watching my damn videos, are you? No, of course not. I'm going to tell you right now, this is what's happening to you. The satellites, your cell phones, the cell phone towers, which all y'all ought to identify and locate all the cell phone towers, because when they kill your communications, you good old boys and girls need to go out there and cut them down with chop saws, blow them up with whatever you need to, sledgehammers, big wrenches and pipe bars to use for leverage to take the bolts. You need to rock them babies over and put them on the ground, bend them up, destroy them, drop them lines and them towers and everything. You can't have power, you can't have communication, then why are you going to let them continue to have it? Because they're going to use that to kill you, to locate you, find you, and kill you. Anyway, they use those things, and those things they can create pluses, but they are using them to create minuses on your health and minuses to your life. Now I'm going to tell you something. In order for y'all to understand my messages, here's a message for you, for every one of y'all. Now you think, oh, Dr. West is off his tree? Well, I'm going to give you something to smoke in your peace pipe. A person must be able to clearly think. They must be able to think clearly. I'll explain a little bit what I mean. You, every one of y'all in America, are being dumbed down to levels of stupidity. Your brain has two sides, or lobes. When you use both sides, or when both sides are working in unison, or together in synchronization, then, as in alphabetic metaphysics, oh, is that a new term? Alphabetic metaphysics? Oh, Fox don't ever talk about that, do they? Anyway, the unity of your brain working together gives you the ability. Alphabetic metaphysics is the unity of your brain working together. And it gives you the ability to take two approaches to everything. Two approaches to all the things you see, all the things you hear, all the things you smell. Two approaches to whatever information comes into your thought process from whatever or whomever or however many sources, and you think it through on your own. Oh, God. Can you do that? Can you take a thought, bring it into your mind, and think it through on your own? No, you can't. No, you can't. You can say you can, but no, you can't. Let me tell you something. When you think it through on your own, you can analyze any thought given to you by anyone and disregard totally and completely their opinion, their everything. Take the thought, the message, not your friend's opinion, not your friend's opinion, who you don't even know, that your friend follows, and now you're following because your friend follows them. Are we catching on? Thank you very much. When both sides of your brain pan is working together, kind of balanced out, you can analyze something analytically, and you can also analyze it through terms of sensuality, sensitivity, with feelings. Then you will be getting a more clear and more definite sense of what's safe and what's not safe, and what this information means to you. When you come to the realization about God and the evil forces that oppose any righteousness, especially the righteousness of God, when you realize, when you actually do, and you will, you're going to at some point, maybe not with me, I guess, but at some point, when you realize this, you may be surrounded by earthquakes. And you may think that you're saved and that you're living, and you and a whole group of your people are just fine. And let me tell you something. Then, after many minutes or even hours of rumbling and tumbling and being tossed to your feet, and then you're up again, and you're down again, and then you're up again, and then you're trying to looking for food and some water, and then all of that, and then you think, oh, we're going to pull together. Man, we survived. Oh, there it goes. Look. And guess what? You still got a tail of debris to spin through 2 times. That's fire and brimstone, trillions of them, up to 500 pounds following that Nibiru solar system, and the Earth is going to spin and revolve right through that vacuumed tail of trillions of stones, up to 500, and some are comets and meteorites, bigger and bigger and better and better. You'll be surrounded by earthquakes. And then just when you think everything's fine, you're going to start to take on water. And you're going to say, where's the water coming from? Oh my goodness, all of us people, we're alive and we're making it. And where is the water coming from? It's because your area of the Earth's surface is sinking. The saturated roots up through the bottom, it's not the bubbling crude. It's going to be the water that's coming up through the ground and down through the passes and down through the highways and down through the rivers that are still left intact, the river beds, I should say. And you're going to take on water because your area that you thought you were safe in is now sinking below sea level. And as it does, depending on the severity, the sides are going to collapse and cave in and keep filling it in, and collapse and cave in as you get deeper, and it'll keep collapsing and filling in until everybody be squeezed in the middle. There's going to be a lot of places like that, folks. I just asked you to wake up to the possibilities because the scriptures tell you about all that stuff. It's just your preachers ain't never enlightened you. they want you to stay away from that because the government wants you to stay away from that. You understand who your preacher's been working for? Everything is going to be changed on the face of this earth. It'll be unidentifiable to the photographs present day. I don't believe there will hardly be any place left on earth that the photographs will even remotely match up, in my opinion. I believe that it's going to be collected up this time. They're giving everybody false hope. They're projecting things for 2000 and, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15, 20 years from now. Let me tell you something, folks. 15, 20 years from now, ain't none of us going to be around here. Anything that's on this earth is going to be shot down, mutilated, burned up, eat up by radiation, burned by the fire. Y'all don't know what's coming. You just ain't got no idea. They're giving you false hopes. They're building underground bunkers and shit for you. That ain't gonna help you one bit. It'll make you feel good for a few days or for a few weeks. And just about the time you're stuck down in there saying, whoa, here it's starting, then cabin fever's going to hit you, and then it's going to dwindle on, and then just about the time you say, man, I can't stay in this hole anymore, you're going to go, and you're going to find yourself about a quarter of a mile, maybe a mile deeper into there, upside down or on your side. And then you're going to remember a messenger who tried to tell you, get your spirits right, get your soul right. Ask God to preserve your soul. Don't try to protect your body. This is part of the cleansing, part of the rebirth. You can't fight it. You can't avoid it. And if you go to another body, you go to a deep place to hide, you'll be returned for the judgment. And you'll be judged according to your neutrality. Folks, I let this one run a little bit longer than I wanted to. I'm sorry about that. And once you learn the things from the messages that I'm trying to give you, it's what you do with it after you got it. That's why I tell you, you don't have to look at my face, you ain't got to look at the screen, but listen to the words. And I like my music too, but anyway. All of this stuff, the stuff that I'm giving y'all stuff, Nabaru is scripturally based and supported and witnessed and warned about, and your preachers didn't touch it. They ain't been touching it. I've been asking them about it for 30, 40 years. Did a little bit of light conversation. Oh yeah, I'll preach a sermon about that. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. I'm glad you brought that to my attention. And then nothing ever happens. Now, learn something and gain some respect from some other fellow humans who have spirits and conscience and souls, and tell them what's coming. Tell them they need to get ready. There's going to be a spiritual fight with a lot of unusual enemies, and there's going to be uniformed enemies who are monsters. They're nothing but monsters, and you've got to protect yourselves. You take weapons, any weapons you got, and you fight them people. Those people are coming to rape and rob and pillage you. Those people are coming to put you into FEMA prisons. They're coming to take everything you have and kill and destroy everything you love, and you're going to let them walk over you? That ain't what Jesus Christ ever told nobody to do. He never told nobody to do that. Nor has God ever, never. They say the opposite. If you don't stand up for the Word, God ain't going to stand up for you later, folks. You don't stand up against these sons of guns and all of the stuff that they're doing. The rest of my videos tells you a story about how they just got a bunch of people to contact me from long ago and pose as my friends to go do a favor, and they just screwed up everything. You got to change credit card, bank account, all kinds of shit. Then the stuff that they purchased with the card that they did bring me back, it is useless to me. It is the exact opposite of what I told them, and only cops would make a mistake in identifying specific ammunitions and that kind of stuff. This guy wasn't nothing but a cop, and he came here, and his job was to make sure I did not receive what I sent and paid people to go and get for me. And they screwed up when someone runs off with your credit card, you can't sit on your duff. You've got to change your bank account. When they got your credit card and your information, and you can't look, they won't contact you, they won't return phone calls, you don't know where they are for 6 or 7 or 8 damn hours, you got to call the damn bank, man. Unfortunately, there's already $280 gone, or $284, $5, something like that, and got a bunch of trifling stuff. The money is nowhere near right. And then, son of a gun, if I didn't turn around and hand them 3 $20 bills, gave them $60 and said, when you take this back and exchange it and get the right stuff, I'll finish paying you. And son of a gun, they said, hey, we got $60 plus 5 here and 10 there that we've been zipping off the top. And, we did okay. Screw him. We did what the cops wanted us to do. We gave him worthless shit to defend himself with. Isn't that something? Somebody who never leaves home, never goes anywhere, they're just going to send people to your house to mess with you. Remember what I said, boys and girls. You like to wear them uniforms? Come here. Come on, see me, guys. Guys and gals, androids, lizards. Come see me, lizards. I got some spears and some swords for your asses, because y'all fight like something. These cowardly chicken shit UN and human pigs and Nazi dogs and swine, they ain't nothing. They ain't shit. Folks, thanks for looking in, and please look at some of the other videos. I'm not always quite so vulgar and so nasty, but I just don't like anybody that wears, associates with, married to, friends with, hangs out with. Anybody that likes and feels good about themselves, about wearing uniforms and murdering and raping and robbing and scaring and killing and intimidating other people. All of y'all who like that circle, here's for you. Here's your sign. And if you don't like that, like I told you before, come get some, punks. Wesley Thompson, folks. Thank y'all for looking in.